You know, tonight, oh, thank you. I was expecting this. How's that for delivery? Dear Jim, please stop writing us and, well, I can't say that on TV. And just as I thought, it says right here, make sure you tell everyone to watch this episode of NEOtropolis, not business as usual. Welcome to NEOtropolis. We are not business as usual. Hi, I'm your host, Jim Evans. A primary goal on our show is to deliver to you stories of people, companies, organizations that stand out and or strive to do so. Tonight, we take a look at a company in our region that definitely delivers. They may have done so for you. At the very least, it's likely you know their name. And how they go about doing what they do definitely stands out. Stay with us for that. But as we like to do from the start, we first take a look at regional business news from the NEOtropolis Good Business News Aggregator.
This is the good business news along the I-77 corridor for the week of April 4th. The city of Kent dominated the good business news this week with reports from all the area newspapers on the city's downtown revitalization efforts. Monday's Kent Record Courier front page reports that Kent-based Davy Tree Resource Group and Pennsylvania-based Amatech Electromechanical Group, currently located elsewhere in Kent, have signed agreements to move downtown as part of Kent's revitalization plan. Established in 1880 and converted to an employee ownership in 1979, Davy Tree is the largest employee-owned company in the state of Ohio and one of the top 15 largest in the United States. With several subsidiaries around the country, Davy Tree employs more than 7,000 people in the U.S. Amatech, with more than 80 manufacturing facilities and 80 sales and service centers in the U.S. and the world, is a leading global manufacturer of electronic instruments and electromechanical devices with annualized sales of $2.7 billion. Also in related news, Wednesday's Kent Record Courier front page, the Akron Beacon Journal community section, and Thursday's Cleveland Plain Dealer Metro sections all report that 8 new restaurants have signed on to be part of Kent's $80 million downtown revitalization project. And finally, Thursday's Kent Record Courier front page reports that in order to facilitate Amatech's move to the downtown area, Kent City Council has agreed to purchase and clean the company's current manufacturing site located elsewhere in Kent for $106,000, with the idea of putting the 100-year-old facility back on the market. In other good business news, Tuesday's Akron Beacon Journal front page reports that after years of planning, Akron-based Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company broke ground on its new 7-story corporate headquarters to be located next to its current tech center in Akron. Tuesday's Akron Beacon Journal business section reports that Main Street Gourmet of Akron, a maker of frozen bakery items, has sold a majority stake of the business to Los Angeles-based investor Clover Capital Partners, LLC. Main Street Gourmet employs about 110 full and part-time employees. Tuesday's Akron Beacon Journal business section also reports that Cleveland-based KeyCorp beat Wall Street predictions with its 2011 first quarter profits. Thursday's Cleveland Plain Dealer and Akron Beacon Journal business sections report that Cleveland-based Eaton Corporation and Huntington Bank and Akron-based Myers Industries Incorporated and First Merit Bank have all posted solid first quarter earnings. First Merit Bank stands out in having been profitable for 47 quarters in a row. This is the good business news along the I-77 corridor for this week. NEOtropolis is your source for good business news.
What we don't have here is failure to communicate. Yeah, recycle familiar line, but applicable for our purposes. Failure to communicate is definitely not the custom for a company that seems to always have that wheel turning inside and out. We'll turn you on to that in a few moments. And, oh, by the way, you may have to sign, so it's critical you stay as you are. Right now, we turn to our content partner, the Business Journal. It's time for the Weekly Buzz.
I'm Stacia Erdis with the Business Journal Weekly Buzz for Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. Lordstown in Trumbull County is the winning location for a new $34 million distribution center to be built by the Anderson-Dubose Corporation. The company, which is a major supplier for McDonald's, has selected a site at the Ohio Commerce Center. Anderson Dubose has submitted an application for an enterprise zone agreement requesting tax incentives of 75% over 10 years. Anderson Dubose supplies about 500 McDonald's in Ohio, New York, northern West Virginia, and western Pennsylvania. The Lordstown project would consolidate two existing operations in Solon and Carnegie, PA, at the new distribution center with some 160 workers. It's the best first quarter ever for Chevrolet, with the Lordstown-built Cruze leading the way. The General Motors brand says it sold 1.1 million vehicles worldwide in the first 3 months of 2011, a 15% increase over the same period in 2010. Chevrolet sold 150,652 Cruze sedans in the first quarter, a 117% increase over 2010, to become the best-selling Chevrolet nameplate. Governor John Kasich toured the Mack trailer manufacturing plant in Salem this week. It's one of the successes he pointed to during his first 100 days in office, as he says he works to change the state's business climate.
So what are small business people telling you, I guess, when you're out there talking to them like today?
What most small business people tell me is hang tough. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mack Trailer is hiring another 100 employees at its Salem plant, as well as another 100 at its plant in Alliance, bringing its workforce to 600. State Representative Ron Gerberry of Austintown is taking up the fight to block the governor's plan to lease the Ohio Turnpike to a private operator. During his visit to Salem, Kasich said leasing the Ohio Turnpike could generate several $1 billion for the state. Gerberry says he'll introduce a bill next week to block the transaction. The tallest building between Cleveland and Pittsburgh has a new sign. Workers from Diamond Steel hoisted sections of the First National Bank sign Saturday atop the 225-foot-high First National Tower in downtown Youngstown. Each section of the bank sign weighs 2,500 pounds. When fully installed, each side will stand nearly 6 feet high and will be 88 feet long, with LED lights illuminating the signs over Youngstown.
This is kind of our way of saying that we're here to stay, and we're proud to be part of the community.
And those are this week's headlines. Be sure to watch the Buzz Newscast every business day online at businessjournaldaily.com. I'm Stacia Urtis. We'll see you next week.
And now it's time for a NEOtropolis fact.
Did you know that Greater Akron, which is comprised of Summit, Portage, and Medina counties, is home to more than 21,000 companies, including more than 150 Fortune 500 companies?
You want not business as usual? Well, you've got it. With a familiar and successful delivery company that travels a different road and otherwise, and how they are set up and how they do business. FedEx Custom Critical operates with a special business model, which incorporates very unique ways of connecting and engaging employees in its effort to gain a competitive edge. Our exceptional Jennifer Borres got an inside look and developed a special package on it, same-day delivery.
This is the exterior of FedEx that you're probably used to seeing, but it's actually the internal management here at FedEx Custom Critical in Uniontown that really makes this company a success, and they are definitely not doing business as usual.
It is an excellent company to work for. Every day I come to work, I feel empowered, I feel like my opinions matter, and I feel like what I'm doing makes a difference at the organization. It's really a fun place to work.
Jennifer Lynn is a risk management analyst at FedEx Custom Critical, which means she helps protect the company's revenue, a job she says is much different here than anywhere else thanks to the leadership, communication, and general culture of the company.
We often feel like we have access to the leadership of the organization, and our opinions matter.
That's how President and CEO Virginia Albanese hopes all of her employees feel, because she and her leadership team make a major effort to keep the entire company communicating and connected.
Communication, I believe, leads to employee engagement. I think all of us would agree that no matter what job we're in, we want to know what's going on, what's going to happen next.
And at FedEx Custom Critical, a company with close to 600 employees and 2,500 independent contractors and their drivers across the U.S. and Canada, there is a lot going on.
At FedEx Custom Critical, we customize solutions to people's critical shipping needs. We move in the heavyweight freight arena, so a skid of freight, 150 pounds and up. So we're not the small package folks. That's the FedEx Express, the FedEx Ground.
That means a customer calls them when they need to move something outside of a general network.
So a customer may need parts to go into an assembly plant. That's the easiest way to think of us. We'll get the parts, take them in, and get them there on time to make sure that assembly line keeps going.
That was the core business years ago. Today they have added white glove services, flying temperature-controlled freight around the world each day.
People call us for all manner of different shipping needs. Now, I say that we move freight. We can certainly move other things, and many times we've been called to move animals. For instance, we've moved penguins, we've moved sharks.
One of the most recent things they've moved was for the National Wildlife Foundation during the Gulf oil spill, as you can see from this video found on the company's website.
A lot of the sea turtles come here to the Gulf of Mexico to nest, even though they live their lives throughout the entire Atlantic Ocean.
They knew that the loggerhead turtles that had nested on the Gulf beaches, as they do each year, that those turtle eggs were in grave danger of, once the turtle hatched and went into the Gulf, that they would not be able to survive with the oil.
We approached FedEx, as FedEx has been a partner with the foundation now for over a year doing many other projects, and it became very obvious that FedEx not only could contribute incredible advice, but then offer to do it as a philanthropic gesture, the actual movement.
And of course that is a critical shipping need. So FedEx Corporate in Memphis turned them over to us here in Greene, and we came up with a way to do it. We had a temperature control tractor trailer. We came up with a skid where we could actually take these eggs, put them in a styrofoam container, and then transport them from the Gulf Coast over to Merritt Island, which is the Kennedy Space Center is on, and there they put them in a hatchery and then release them into the Atlantic Ocean.
Virginia says they moved 25,000 eggs over a 2-month period.
And then I got, a month or so later, went down and watched them release the turtles at nighttime into the Atlantic Ocean. And it was really something to know that FedEx Custom Critical had been involved in that.
Although an incredible feat, it's one of many impressive achievements Virginia has seen the company accomplish over the years. She became CEO in 2007 and prior to that had been Vice President of Operations. She worked her way up through the company from the front lines as a customer service agent more than 2 decades ago.
I have had the opportunity over my 24 years to really understand the business, work in it, understand what each of the roles and how important every single role in this building is to the end product, that service that we deliver to our customers.
It's clear to see how proud she is of her employees, who she says will do just about anything to help out a customer. But maybe that's partly because Virginia is so focused on keeping them engaged and caring about the company's future.
We're very methodical about communication. We don't take it lightly. We think about it all the time. How can we communicate a change? What does this mean to our folks? What does it mean to the fleet? And make sure that we're communicating.
They make in-house videos like this so employees can hear leadership speak about what's happening within the company.
The recruiting team has also been hard at work.
This is their media studio where they make and edit the internal videos.
I certainly do what I call visits with Verge. I'll get on videos from time to time. But my whole staff of leaders are communicators. We write letters to people. As an executive leadership team, we try and write handwritten letters to team members each month, thanking them for what they've done. And we send them, try to, sometimes they get delivered here, but we will try to send them to their homes.
They also send out daily email bulletins with company updates, and some departments, like the finance team, create newsletters like this.
So I think all the different communications and really making sure people know the strategy leads to a highly engaged workforce, and a highly engaged workforce does well for you.
Rita Stauk is a counselor at Akron SCORE, a group of retired executives who help small businesses that are just getting started with the basics like writing a business plan.
My background has been, I've been in human resources most of my career. I'm an industrial engineer, but I've done labor relations and human resources probably for 35 years until retirement. And I worked for companies in Pittsburgh, and most recently I worked for MTD Products out in Valley City, where I was a vice president of human resources.
He says if you want to motivate people and have employees who are motivated and care about your business, you need to have a great communications program, like the one at FedEx Custom Critical.
I think when you think of organizations that are good organizations, successful organizations, I think everyone has a very, very good communication program. And communication program starts with the top, and it'll work all the way down through the organization.
Virginia and her leadership team don't leave anyone out within their company, even staying in contact with independent contractors who have 1,400 trucks with Qualcomm satellite tracking systems on them.
The new system that we have just finished rolling out to the trucks has given us a great deal of flexibility in communication. We can send out documents to them that they can read right on the screen. We can send videos out to them. And our goal, although we haven't started it yet, our goal is to be able to put out very regular communications to these folks who are out in a truck, very much separated from this building in Greene, Ohio, and make them feel connected to the company that they contract with.
It is a culture that has been a part of the company for many years, but it's still being recognized by employees today.
I had somebody stop me in the lunchroom yesterday talking to me. I was on a recent video that was done in Memphis that everybody here watched. And it was interesting because the young lady said to me in the cafeteria, she says, she introduced herself to me. She's new to the organization. And she said, I watched that, and I wasn't really sure how we fit into the big FedEx. And after you were done talking, I understood it, and I really felt proud to work here. So, I think those are the types of things where you really, where you realize that people, they like it. And they like to know what's going on.
Regis says a communication strategy like this shouldn't just exist in some industries. It should be used across the board.
I don't think you could say one company should have it because they make this and another company doesn't need it because you make it. You have to think about everybody that works for you as an employee. Everybody that works for you every day adds value. They have to know how they add value to your company. I don't care if they're an engineer, they're a service employee, or a technician of some sort. But how does an employee add value is why you do communication, so that everybody understands it. And you need to explain that to them.
Candace Monteith, manager of FedEx Truckload Brokerage, has worked for the company for 6 years, but was just recently promoted to manager. She says she feels valued at her job each day.
No, I love working here. I feel honored and very proud to work for FedEx. We have a lot of pride at our company, and I can't see myself anywhere else.
She says it's much different from other companies she's worked for, in a good way.
I've worked for other large corporations, and I would say this one, you could just feel more of a level of family. It's just a little bit more relaxed. It's not as corporate as you would think FedEx would be. There's a lot of communication that goes on within our organization, which I absolutely love.
She's even been a part of one of the visits with Verge.
Basically, she invites employees from around the company to come in to her office and ask her questions. It's an open forum. You can ask questions related to your department or just things you're curious about the company. If she doesn't have the answer, she makes sure she gets back to you on it.
Virginia says she thinks employees most enjoy face-to-face time like this, but there are also boxes placed around the building called Take It to the Top, encouraging employees who aren't quite as comfortable in person to write out questions or make suggestions.
We do take some of those questions, though, from time to time, and we will make a video where I will answer several questions from the Take It to the Top collection. And we have 2-3 team members actually come on the video to ask me the questions, which is always kind of fun. And then, of course, I always get the opportunity to throw a question back at them.
The economy is a very difficult time because you're closing facilities, you're eliminating factories, you're eliminating jobs. But at the same time, you also have employees left. You also have organization left that you have to communicate to. You have to explain to them again, why did we do it? Why do we have to do it? But if you communicate all along on how you're doing, some of this may not be as big a surprise or a shock.
I will tell you, we do a lot of business here. We are incredibly busy, but I can also say that we have a lot of fun here too. And I think most of our employees would say that they enjoy coming to work because they enjoy the people, they enjoy the work, they enjoy how they're treated, and they really enjoy delivering for our customers.
Here at FedEx Custom Critical, the critical difference is the management. In Uniontown, I'm Jennifer Boris for Western Reserve PBS.
Perhaps there's a special delivery from FedEx Custom in your future. And with that, it's time now for Into the Future.
Into the future. Hi, I'm Jim Griggy with the Ohio Small Business Development Center, located at the Akron Global Business Accelerator. The Ohio Small Business Development Center exists to help small businesses in many ways. We work with small businesses from cradle to grave, from I have an idea and I want to make a business out of it, to I'm starting a business and I just want to make sure I've got everything filed properly and set up properly, to I have a successful business and I want to grow it to the next level, to things aren't going the way we want them to and we want someone else to come in and give us a fresh set of eyes and maybe help us do some disaster recovery before it's too late. We work with our clients with marketing plans, with financial statements, product development ideas. We work with clients in two ways. One way is direct one-on-one counseling, and the other is through monthly and quarterly seminars that we offer. On a monthly basis, we offer Business Basics, and Business Basics is all the considerations you might have in starting your own business. We also offer on a monthly basis a seminar on how to write a business plan, and that's exactly that. It's how to write a good business plan that's presentable to investors, to commercial loan officers, and other people who might be willing to put money into your business. On a quarterly basis, we offer something called Numbers Demystified, which is for existing businesses who need to get a little bit more information out of their financial statements, want to be able to read and understand the financials a bit better. You can reach us by phone at 330-375-2111, or you can reach us at our website, akronsbdc.org. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
You know, we like to give you the rundown on the financial field, and the experts at NCA Financial Planners are here now to do that with a stock wrap.
This week's local company stock spotlight is Cliffs Natural Resources. Headquartered in downtown Cleveland, Cliffs Natural Resources is an international mining and natural resources company. A member of the S&P 500 Index, Cliff is the largest producer of iron ore pellets in North America. Cliffs Natural Resources was founded over 150 years ago in 1847, when a group of men from the Cleveland area pooled their money to explore for minerals in the wilderness of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Today, Cliffs Natural Resources is yet another great example of a Cleveland company that has grown to become a truly global enterprise. Cliffs is organized into 3 geographic business units: North America, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. It's hard to believe how an exploration into Michigan created a company that has over 6,000 employees around the globe today. Cliffs Natural Resources trades under the symbol CLF. This week, its board of directors declared a quarterly cash dividend on the company's common shares of stock at 14 cents per share. The cash dividend will be payable on June 1, 2011. The midweek close for CLF was $95.91. Year-to-date, the stock is positive 22.95%, and over the last 5 years, the stock is positive an amazing 326.5%. Back to you, Jim.
There is plenty of communication when it comes to culture and entertainment in Northeast Ohio, and you know what I'm going to say next. We have the guy who delivers on that every week. That, of course, is Cool Cleveland's Thomas Mulready. He joins us now to tell you about some other events that are going on in NEOtropolis this weekend. What we're talking about is the business of fun.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and this week we want to talk about all the great diners, locally owned restaurants in Northeast Ohio, and we have a lot of these classic diners throughout the region. This is the Midwest, after all, so take advantage of this. In Youngstown, for example, Page's Diner, Page's New Ages Diner on Churchill Hubbard Road, the quintessential Midwestern diner with cheap food but good food. Buckeye Diner is on Boardman Canfield Road, and the Park Classic Diner is on Boardman Poland Road in Youngstown. In Akron, Fred's Diner is at the top of the list there. They do a mac and cheese, great value, and excellent food. They're on Home Avenue. Of course, there's Swenson's Drive-In, and they have now expanded to Akron. They started in Akron. Now they're in Independence, Kent, and Massillon. They do a burger and shake like nobody else at Swenson's. Dave's Diner, also on Worcester Avenue in Akron. Cleveland, we've got a few of them. We're here right near University Circle. We're at the Silver Spartan Diner, and this is right on Bellflower, right next to La Albatross, which used to be that place on Bellflower. There's also, we're going to recommend the diner on Clifton, which is at West 117th and Clifton. across the street from Lakewood. Classic little diner on the corner there. Yours truly, a number of locations now, Shaker Square, Hudson, Medina, Mentor. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention Melt Bar and Grilled. Our favorite entrepreneur, Matt Fish, started in Lakewood. Now they're in Cleveland Heights as well. Long line to get in, but it's well worth it. So check out your locally owned diner in Northeast Ohio. This is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in NEOtropolis.
Remember, there are things that you could do to help the Northeast Ohio economy. One way is to get out to any of the events Thomas told us about and make your investment in fun. You can also position yourself out there and make your brilliant comments about the Northeast Ohio economy to any of the people around you, same day or overnight, and tell them to spread the word. In the meantime, log on to our website, neotropolis.org, and tell us what you think. I'm Jim Evans. We'll see you next week on NEOtropolis, not business as usual.
Funding for NEOtropolis has been provided by the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, committed to the free enterprise system.
First Place Bank is proud to sponsor NEOtropolis. As a community bank, First Place Bank believes we are only as strong as the communities we serve. Locally owned businesses are the cornerstone of our communities. We concentrate on helping local businesses make the most of their resources through a variety of services delivered with a community banking touch.
The Dominion Foundation. JumpStart, working with entrepreneurs to accelerate the growth of their high-potential businesses to create a more prosperous economic future for Northeast Ohio. Youngstown Business Incubator. And NorTech.
Next week on NEOtropolis, more buzz, stock wrap, and into the future. Find out who is not doing business as usual. Now stay tuned for News Night.